Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's got the bitchiest makeup of them all? Michty Maxx.
Hi, I'm Michty Maxx, and I'm here to share this Ravenna-inspired makeup I wore to the Huntsman Winter's War movie. I took inspiration from a few of the looks that Charlize wore in the film, including an extreme version of her sitting on the throne look, the emerging from the mirror section with all that gold leaf, and I couldn't help but add extra glitter and some spikes for badassery. Then I chose black lipstick for the evil blood that spills out of her mouth after the big fight. And now I shall cover my face in glory. First, I primed my lids with MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, using a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease brush, taking that all around the eye to keep the shadows in place and combat veins and discoloration. Then I reached out for the Makeup Forever Flash Palette and chose the gold cream to apply with a Japanesque synthetic concealer brush in an oval shape, beginning from my inner corner, carving out a cut crease from the inside out. I used the round edge of the brush to create the shape and also took some product around the tear duct. Using the same brush, I dipped into Inglot eyeshadow number 430 Pearl to pack that onto the gold cream base, following the defined shape. I'm getting plenty of product on there and circling that gold shadow around the tear duct too. I probably shouldn't have got so excited and got in with the gold eyeshadow yet, because I ended up blending some of that gold into my matte black in a later step, but it still looked fine. Then I brought out the Inglot number 101 lightest shadow to apply to my brow bone with the Naked 3 brush, also taking it all the way into the inner crease. Back to that eyeshadow trio, and I chose the middle and deepest strips to apply to my socket as a transition shade, and then went in with the darker shade only to deepen up the inner crook of my eye, evilly flicking it up into my eyebrow and along the crease. I dampened that down with the lightest shade. I grasped the flash palette again and picked out some black cream. Then using the MAC 266 angled brush, I'm drawing the beginnings of a winged liner, taking it along the lash line, and then covering the outer third of my eyelid. I brought it up into my crease to cut it sharply, curving it around following the gold shape, and blending the line upwards with the Makeup Geek pencil brush. I added more product to deepen the cut crease line and tried to keep both sides as even as possible. I swapped between applying the black cream with the angled brush and blending that product out with the small stiff pencil brush. I brought the shade out into an elongated winged point before grabbing some more transition shade to soften the edge. To set and bring more darkness, I have the Makeup Geek Eyeshadow Corrupt and the Zoeva Detailer brush to pat the matte black eyeshadow onto the outer third of my eyelid and dragging some of that shadow along my lash line. Then I used the tip of the brush to deposit some color along the edge of the cut crease. I moved on to the Zoeva Petite Crease brush to begin to buff out the top of the crease, and I also dipped the tip into more eyeshadow to get that going. This was where I realized the gold eyeshadow was being transferred into my crease, so I pulled out the Sigma E47 Shader Crease brush and used that instead. I went about fading the crease upwards, but not taking it too far up onto the brow bone. I took the Petite Crease brush to buff out the wing, and the Detail brush to pack on shadow on the outer edge of the lid, and also take the inner crease further around to encircle the tear duct. I used the pointed brush to keep things flowing, and doing the usual layering of product and blending with the various brushes. I took it back to the angled brush to sharpen up the crease all the way along, and added more of the brow highlight shade to overlap and buff out the black. I elongated the wing dart shape and checked my symmetry before going on to the Inglot Matte Gel Eyeliner and Duraline to coat my tight line with the Sigma E11 eyeliner brush. I took the gel eyeliner all around the inner rim, including the tear duct, and I added a fine line along my upper lash line. I used a flat definer brush to press some eyeshadow along my lash line to set the gel eyeliner and lend a soft finish. Back to the Makeup Forever Black Cream, and I used the angled brush again to apply a small amount to my outer lower lid before blending it out with a humble cotton bud. I used that Sigma E15 flat definer brush again to set the black cream with Corrupt eyeshadow and kept it soft with a cotton bud, the pencil brush, and the Petite Crease brush. I took a little bit more gold cream and applied it to the inner third of my lash line with a pointed cotton bud. Then I picked up the Inglot gold eyeshadow again on the concealer brush and set that cream, blending it into the black there. I have the eye candy sprinkles in Bananarama, a bright yellow gold, which I'm tapping on my carved out lid with the same brush, using the Lit Cosmetics Clearly Liquid Glitter Base as an adhesive, giving that highly reflective mirror look. I took that all over the golden area, even around the tear duct to meet the black on the lower lash line, fading it out so it doesn't end in a harsh stop. I pulled out the original Naked palette to grab a mix of Buck and Naked to deepen up the inner crook of my eye for extra evil drama, and I blended the Inglot brown shadows on top of that with the Naked 3 brush. I messed with that inner crease a bit more and added more black with the detailer and pencil brushes, almost all the way to the end of the gold. I curled my eyelashes and shellacked on some L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara in Ultra Black, and added plenty of MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash on the bottom. I refined the outer wing with the Petite Crease brush, taking it further out to the temple. I did my brows with the light powder from the Urban Decay Bathwater Blonde Brow Box, and I took some more shadow onto the start of the eyebrow before setting the hairs with Gimme Brow. I moisturized the skin with MAC Strobe Cream, adding glow underneath, and I used the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer through the center of my face. I tried my new Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Gel Foundation in 51 Light Vanilla and mixed it with the MAC Vanilla Pigment to add a light gold shine through the skin. After dotting it on, I pounced it into my skin with a damp beauty blender. I did my usual concealer routine, as seen in my previous few videos. I took the inner crook shadowing further down my nose before powdering the center of my face with Hourglass Diffused Light Ambient Powder. I enhanced my beauty spot with an eyebrow pencil, and then I have the MAC Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Whisper of Guilt, and I'm really slapping that heavily on my cheekbones, all the way from the apples. I laid that onto my Cupid's bow using my finger for a concentrated application, dabbing that with the beauty blender and going at my nose and forehead as well. I chose Benefit Coralista as my blush, and I applied it in an angular fashion from my apples up to my hairline and blended on more Whisper of Guilt over the top. I'm going nuts with the shine to match that magical mirror. I used the Benefit Brow Kit powder on the Real Techniques contour brush to witch bitch up my face and make it more wicked angular, applying it towards the backs of my cheeks and into my temples and around my forehead. I blended that out with the Kabuki brush and added a touch more blush, which is a good time to lay on extra highlighter too. Now we get into the really kinky stuff, and I'm going back to that gold cream, dabbing it on the corner of my forehead and using the Real Techniques Deluxe Crease brush to buff it out into a swooping point towards the front of my eyebrow, similar to the shape of the gold leaf makeup Ravenna is wearing when she is released from the mirror. I blended the edges with the Beauty Blender and made sure the cream was buffed all the way up into my hairline. I whipped out the Whisper of Guilt Mineralized Skin Finish again and set the gold cream base with that same S113 Hakuhodo highlight brush. And then I sprayed the area with MAC Fix Plus to dampen it so I could press on some of this craft glitter called Mayan Gold, which I got from the dollarnailart.com website, and I'm using a fluffy brush. This shade is a paler gold than the Eye Candy Sprinkles more yellow Bananarama. Be careful not to get this kind of craft or nail art glitter in your eye, because it can really fuck you up, but it complements the gold foil or gold leaf which I have in this little pot. I'm using a tiny bit of Prosade adhesive dotted over the base shape area, then taking pieces of the gold leaf that I have ripped up, placing them down with tweezers and pressing them flat on my forehead with my finger until I have an array of different shapes and sizes covering the embellished design piece. I added more glue here and there if necessary until there was enough gold leaf laid down. To add my own personal Michty flair to this adornment, I prepared larger glue blobs to various places around the section, and while I gave the glue a minute to get tacky, I added some smaller pieces of gold leaf to fill in the sparse spaces. Then I got out my 3mm gold spikes, also from the Born Pretty store, and using tweezers I placed them down over the glue blobs, pressing gently with my finger and adding an evil 3D sharp touch to this face ornament. I primed with MAC Prep and Prime Lip Base. I lined my lips with NYX Slim Lip Liner in Blackberry, and then applied Melt Cosmetics lipstick in Bane to get an inky black matte lip. I pushed the lipstick right up to the edge with the lip pencil. And then, to continue the gold piece, I added some more glue and smaller pieces of gold leaf on the inner part of the side of my nose and pressed them down with the back of a makeup brush to flatten them out. I added some more pieces above my eyebrow and one more spike at the corner there, following the flow of the shape, but leaving my eyebrow out of the party. And once I'm done messing with my hair, my face is this glorious and delicious monstrosity. This magnificent and brutal makeup look made me feel extremely badass and severe to the max. I really love the eyes by themselves with all the black winged out eyeshadow all sharp and angular, yet incorporating the curvature and shine of the mirror in the gold glitter inner cut crease area. Plus, I had so much fun creating the jaunty gold leaf sparkly and spiked forehead piece, which gave me so much joy and of course evil magical powers. This is actually a revisit of a look I created a few years ago before I had my channel, and I've really wanted to recreate it for a tutorial. Of course I had some more fun with this makeup and added the Ravenna inspired head segment, but you can check out the original photos on my old blog. It's of course linked in the usual places. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this wicked movie character inspired tutorial. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. Also check out my band and podcast on iTunes. And if you want to send me a letter or something, I have my PO box in the description box.